Let's be real. The best time to get your money right was yesterday. The next best time is today. I know, I get it. I've been there. Credit card debt, bills piling up, and not taking those calls. I was making good money, but still living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't know what I didn't know. I was embarrassed and I was ashamed. Can you relate? But I have good news. You can take action today. It's not too late. Hi, I'm Dignity Coach Mariolene, and I am here to empower you to reclaim dignity in your finances. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's one of the things one of my coaches told me that has played itself out in my life. And as it relates to your money, it is like 10x. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dignity in Dollars podcast, a safe place where we are releasing our money trauma and healing our relationship with money to reclaim dignity in our finances, to design the life that we desire and deserve. Say it with me. What I desire, I deserve. I'm financial dignity coach Mariolene, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Welcome officially to our very first Wednesday episode at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's right. Starting today, Dignity in Dollars is coming to you live every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. EST. We made this change for the professionals, the lunch breakers, the ones who've been wanting to join us live but couldn't make it on the Thursday at noon. This time is for you. And thank you for reaching out and letting me know that. Wednesdays, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put it in your calendar and make it a non-negotiable. Now, today is also special for another reason. This is the very first episode in a brand new monthly series here on Dignity in Dollars. Every first episode of the month, I'm going to do a real client case study. Real people, real situations, real strategies, and real outcomes. Because sometimes the most powerful thing I can do for you is not just teach you about the principles. It's to show you what they look like in real life when a real person lives them out. And today's story is one I have been wanting to share for a long time. Today, we're talking about real life budgeting in hard times. A single mom case study. I want to tell you about a client of mine. Her name is Ambi. She is a single mother and she lost her job. She has 3 teenage daughters. When she lost her job, her budget dropped from $3,500 a month to $800 a month. She had to figure out how to maintain financial stability despite losing 77% of her income. Suddenly, she found herself staring at this amount of money as opposed to this amount, that she had to make that stretch across an entire month to include rent, utilities, food, her children, all of it. No backup plan, no savings cushion to fall back on, just a tight number and a whole lot of fear. But here's what she did. She did not run from it. She faced it. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what we did together, the strategy we built, and how she came out of that season, not just surviving, but thriving and stronger. If this message is helping you today, please share this live right now and tag someone who needs to be here and hear this story. Let's get into it together. Let's talk about the reality of job loss. Let me start by naming what job loss actually feels like. Because sometimes we talk about it like it's just a financial event, but it's so much more than that. When you lose your job, especially as a single parent, the financial fear hits immediately. But right alongside it comes something else: shame. The voice that says, how did I let this happen? What's wrong with me? It is something that we think about other people before we think about ourselves. We think, what are people going to think? What am I going to tell my kids? And then the practical pressure starts piling up on top of the emotional weight. Rent is due. The lights have to stay on. The kids need to eat. They need school supplies. And the clock is already ticking. Here is something that I want you to think about. And here is something I want you to sit with. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average time it takes to find a new job after losing one is roughly 5 to 6 months. Not 2 weeks, not a month, 5 to 6 months on average. And for some people, it takes longer. I had a client, it took them 2 years to find another job. For professionals in specialized fields, it could take closer to a year of applications, interviews, and rejections before something sticks. This is exactly why the 3 to 6 months of savings we talk about so often is not just a nice idea. It's a requirement. It's a lifeline. Because if it takes you 5 months to find work and you only have 3 weeks of expenses saved, the math does not work. It is not mathing. And the gap in between is where real financial damage happens. Debt taken on just to survive, bills that go past due, credit that takes years to rebuild. Ambi did not have that cushion. And that is where we had to start. This was difficult for her because as women, we internalize everything. We feel like this is a personal reflection of me. But that is where she had to start, with the truth of what she had and a plan to make it last. Excuse me, to make it last. Let me walk you through what we actually did together. I want this to feel like a real demo because it is. If you have a pen and paper, pull it out. If you're watching on your phone, screenshot this because these steps work. Step 1, get clear on the exact number. The first thing that we did was get completely honest about how much money she actually had, not a rough estimate, the real number. And how many days did it need to last? Once we had that number on paper, the panic started to shift a little bit into something more workable. Because when you can see the truth, you can make a plan. When you are guessing, all you have is fear. Step 2, do a full spending audit. I'm about to step on some toes, so curl them back if you need to. Cut everything that is not essential. This is going to challenge you because you're going to feel like everything I have, I need. Lies. Everything you have could be put in one of 2 columns: that you want it or that you need it. And you'll find that the 50 things that you have in your need column, you probably only need 5. The other 25, 45 need to be in the want column. So what we did when we did that those 2 columns is we went through every single thing coming out of her account, every subscription, every automatic payment, every recurring charge, and we asked one essential question about each one. Is this Not, is it nice to have? Not, do I enjoy it? Is it essential right now? And here's where things get real. When money is this definition of essential becomes very narrow. Essential means keeping the roof over your head. Essential means keeping the lights on. Essential means feeding your children and yourself. So here's what we cut immediately. Streaming services, gone. Every single one of them. Gym membership, paused or canceled. Subscription boxes, canceled. Any app with a monthly fee that was not critical, gone. Any service on auto renew that she had forgotten about, gone. And here is the thing about subscriptions. Most people do not even know how many they have until they sit down and look. I have seen people free up $50, $70, even $100 a month just by canceling things they forgot they were paying for. That is real money, especially when every dollar counts. Step 3, prioritize the non-negotiables. After we cleared the subscriptions, we listed what absolutely had to be paid that month. Rent first, utilities second, food third. And then we looked at everything else and made decisions about what could wait, what could be negotiated, and what creditors she could call to explain the situation and ask for a temporary arrangement. Here's something that most people do not know. A lot of creditors will work with you if you call them before you miss a payment, not after, before. A simple phone call saying, I recently lost my job and I want to be transparent with you about my situation. This opens more doors than silence ever will. Step 4, stretch the grocery budget with intention. We built a bare bones grocery plan, not deprivation, dignity. There is a difference. We focused on meals that were fulfilling, nutritious, and inexpensive. Beans, rice, eggs, frozen vegetables, oats, things that go far, things that feed a family without emptying a wallet. She told me later that this was actually one of the most empowering parts of the process because instead of just spending without thinking, she was making intentional choices. And that felt like power, even in the middle of a hard season. Step 5, protect one small thing for morale. This might surprise you, but I told her to keep one small thing, not extravagant, but one thing that brought her peace or joy. Maybe it was a library card so she could still get books. Maybe it was a walk in the park with her kids on Sundays. The point was this: when you eliminate every single good thing from your life, survival becomes unbearable. And when survival feels unbearable, people make desperate decisions. And we were not trying to make her miserable. I was trying to make her smart. And smart includes protecting your mental and emotional health, even on a tight budget. This is not a privilege. It is a right. Now, let me tell you what happened. On the other side of that season, she found a new job. It took a few months. And during those months, she used that strategy. She stayed close to her numbers. She asked for help when she needed it. She did not pretend everything was fine. And she did not go into debt trying to maintain a lifestyle she could not currently afford. But here's what surprised her the most. When she came out on the other side and started receiving income again, and her income started to increase. She was different with money because she had been forced to get honest. She had been forced to see exactly what was essential and what was extra. And that clarity did not leave her when the hard season ended. Did you catch that? What happened to her, she did not have to relive because she took the lesson and moved forward. She told me, Coach M, I know what I actually need now. And I know what I was just spending on without thinking. She said, I realized that I was in an abusive relationship with my money. And that when this job loss came, all of the trauma came back up. And I was using that as a filter to make decisions. But now, after going through this and now having a plan and a strategy, I respect money. And now I don't work for my money. My money works for me. That is a gift. That is the gift that a hard season can give you if you face the season instead of running from it. Clarity, intention, a completely different relationship with your money, and healing. Not only did she get healing for herself, but guess who was watching her with eagle eyes this entire time? Her daughters. They were watching how she was dealing with this situation, and they were soaking it in like a sponge. She didn't know this, but she learned it. That whatever was running through her family line ran into her. And because of the decision that she made to face it, create a plan and a strategy, she started a whole new line. And now her daughters also have a whole new way of dealing with money, that they are not in a situation where they don't know what to do. Those behaviors ended with Ambi. And these new behaviors of being a good steward, of having plans, she saved her children the passing down of that money trauma. Now they have money triumph because they overcame. And here's a statistic that puts a bow on all of this. A 2024 Federal Reserve report found that adults with even a small emergency savings buffer report significantly lower financial stress than those with none at all. The amount matters less than the existence of the actual habit. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Having anything set aside, even 1 month of expenses, changes how you experience a financial crisis. This is why we build before we need it. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Because you cannot build a savings cushion in the middle of an emergency. Too late. You build it before the storm. And when the storm comes, it holds you because you are ready. Whether you are in a hard season right now or you want to make sure you are ready if one comes, here are 3 things you can do today. 1, do a subscription audit this week. Go through your bank statement line by line and find every recurring charge. Cancel anything that is not essential. You may be surprised how much you free up. That money belongs in your savings account, not quietly leaving your account every month for something you're not even using. Number 2, start building your emergency cushion now, even if it is small. If you have a job right now, that is your window. Even setting aside $25 a week adds up over time. That'll be over $300. Excuse me, over $1,300 in 1 year. And it's not about the number. It's about having something between you and a crisis. Action number 3, know your bare bones number. Sit down and figure out what it actually costs you to survive 1 month if you had to cut everything to the essentials: rent, utilities, food, transportation, your cell phone. Just that. Know that number. Because when you know your bare bones number, your overhead, that is not negotiable, you know exactly how many months your savings can carry you immediately. And that knowledge alone gives you power. I want to leave you with this. Hard seasons are not the end of your story. They are often the beginning of a new chapter, one where you finally get clear, finally get honest, finally build something that lasts. Ambi did not come out of that season broken. She came out of it wiser, more intentional, more powerful with her money than she had ever been before. And if she can do it, a single mother, no cushion, 77% of her income gone, and a whole lot of fear, so can you. If today's conversation spoke to you, let it move you to action. Start where you are. Protect what you're building. Ask the questions you need to ask, and take the next wise step for yourself and your family. And if you want to stay in the loop for resources and information on workshops, boot camps, coaching, visit Focus Fire Life. Visit focusfire.life, not .com, not .org. Focusedfire.life and sign up. I request, I ask, please like, share, and follow Focus Fire on Facebook and Focus Fire Life on Instagram. Thank you for being here today with me on Dignity and Dollars. I pray for God to open your eyes to see, open your ears to hear, and open your heart to receive that healing your relationship with money is for you. Becoming debt-free is for you. Becoming financially liberated and having financial freedom is for you. Living in abundance and overflow is for you, because what you desire, you deserve. Amen. Amen. See you next time. Bye-bye.